Welcome everyone to Healing Pathways Navigating Transformation with Juanita, a series of podcasts covering a range of transpersonal therapies and practices, including regression, psychotherapy, ancestor and spirit release, shamanism, and connection practices. I'm your host, Henry Woodcock, and the founder of Energy Gateways, Juanita Puddifoot, is here with us today. Juanita has over 30 years professional experience in the field of transpersonal therapy, working with individuals and groups. Welcome, Juanita.
Hi, Henry. It's good to be here today.
On your Energy Gateways website, you describe a range of transpersonal therapies and practices that you employ for your clients. Could you let our listeners know your journey of discovery and learning that led you to creating Energy Gateways?
Absolutely. For me, it's been a difficult and challenging experience in my life that pushed me to explore different methods and techniques to transform my issues. There were times when I needed help on every level: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. I quickly realized that no one single approach was going to fix everything. So my personal healing journey became very enriched as I immersed myself in different processes, really feeling out what helped and what didn't. Early on, I had out-of-body experiences where I was able to see a different level of energetic reality. It was like I was seeing this interconnected web that binds together all things, people, the natural world, everything. I became aware of the energies linking people to previous lives and the energetic residues that lingered around them and certain places and buildings. This really opened my eyes to a new understanding of life and what might be energetically influencing us, including myself. I was fortunate to grow up in a household where exploring alternative ways of healing, like dowsing, hands-on healing, was completely acceptable. Even though my mother was a doctor, she still had been able to see and sense spirits from a young age. So there was this openness to exploring beyond conventional methods, which was a great atmosphere to grow up in. Unfortunately, at school, I experienced a level of abuse. And so I spent years learning and training in different modalities to really find a toolkit of sorts, bringing together regression techniques, shamanic practices, nature ceremonies, ancestral clearing, and conventional psychotherapeutic skills, all together as part of the service that I offer. It's all about supporting and helping others on their own journeys of healing and transformation.
That's such a powerful perspective, Juanita. You've mentioned that you work with a wide range of issues, from relationship difficulties to spiritual concerns. How do you tailor your approach to meet the needs of each client?
Every client is unique, so I always start with understanding their specific situation, whether it's a relationship issue, trauma, or a spiritual question. Following a discussion with a client, I then will use a method that resonates mostly with their needs. For example, if someone is dealing with deep-seated trauma, I might use the deep memory process techniques to bring those memories to the surface and facilitate healing. Alternatively, if someone is feeling disconnected from their emotions, inner child work can help them reconnect and heal those wounded parts of themselves.
It sounds like you have a wide range of tools at your disposal. Could you give us a brief overview of some of the specific methods you use?
Of course. One of the primary methods I use is deep memory process. We call it DMP for short, which is a regression technique that helps clients uncover and work through memories from their current life or even past lives. It's an embodied method that can involve physical movement and cathartic release. So energies, impulses that are stuck in the body, we help those release, including emotions, and the movement of frozen physical impulses is an important part of the healing. Another method is inner child work, which helps clients connect with the different parts of themselves that may have been suppressed due to trauma. These tend to be parts of the client at specific ages. This approach fosters true communication between the adult self and those inner child parts, leading to a more integrated and fulfilling life. I also work with approaches that have an awareness of the energetic aspects of life, such as shamanic practices, which can involve the use of a drum, rattle, plants, and particular rituals and ceremonies. These practices help clients connect with spiritual teachers or paranormals and set the sacred space for deep healing. Additionally, I developed creative integration therapy, which is especially helpful for clients who struggle to engage with their imagination. This method uses the concept that as everything is vibrating energy, that we can use physical objects like cushions or chairs to represent different aspects of the client's inner world, making it easier to identify and transform these stuck issues.
That's a diverse toolkit, Juanita. It's fascinating how you integrate different approaches depending on what the client needs. I'm curious, how do you determine which method is right for someone?
Well, in actual fact, it all begins with a conversation. When someone contacts me, we arrange a brief discussion to clarify what they're seeking, because a lot of people have expectations. This fix me in one session isn't normally going to work. It's normally a process, a journey. And we look at what challenges they're facing. Based on that, I can suggest the most suitable approach. Sometimes it's one method, and other times it might be a combination. For example, a client might benefit from deep memory process and shamanic practices, depending on the complexity of their issues.
I understand you also offer site visits. Can you tell us a bit more about that?
Yes, I do. I'm usually invited to visit a house or building or land as the owner is experiencing some sort of issue, maybe some sort of energy activity, or they wish to communicate more with the guardian of the site. This kind of work may involve everyone to be part of a meditation, maybe a ceremony or ritual, to create stronger communication channels, to be able to listen and receive information. And these visits can range from a single day to several days, depending on the work required.
So far, you've talked about working with individuals. Do you also work with groups?
Yes, I provide sessions for one-to-one work, either online or face-to-face here in the UK and abroad. I also facilitate group work as I teach various programs such as deep memory process regression training, which involves several modules spread over a few years. Then workshops on different topics that may be 1 to several days, again spread over a period of time. And again, these are taught in person or online. I also collaborate internationally, both with individuals and organisations who invite me to be part of their event or training. In this case, I create tailor-made lectures, workshops or training programs depending on what that organisation or group needs.
It's clear your work is transformative, Juanita. For our listeners who might be interested in working with you or learning more, how can they get in touch?
They can reach out to me via the website energygateways.com at the email info@energygateways.com. We'll start with a brief discussion to understand what they are seeking, such as it therapy, one-to-one or online, or if they're wanting to invite me to teach and be part of their event.
Thank you so much, Juanita. This has been an incredibly insightful conversation. Your approach to therapy is truly holistic and offers so much potential for healing.
Thank you, Henry. It's been a pleasure to share my work with your listeners.
Over the coming weeks, we'll be exploring therapies and practices Energy Gateways offer that can help people who've had a range of issues in their lives. Next time, we are looking at what working with the inner child in a session with Juanita entails. Juanita, can you touch upon some of the topics we will discuss?
Sure. We'll be covering, and in actual fact, what does inner child work actually mean? What is that when we're working with that in sessions? And basically the fragmented parts of the psyche. Why these parts become split, how this happens, and where these are located within the client, and what these parts need to be fully integrated with the adult self.
Thank you to our listeners for joining us on Healing Pathways Navigating Transformation with Juanita. If today's episode resonated with you, don't hesitate to reach out to Juanita. Her work is transformative and she's here to support you on your journey. Until next time, this is Energy Gateway signing off. Take care. For more detailed information, visit the website energygateways.com or on YouTube search for Energy Gateways with Juanita.